We're back again. Wow, it's good to be back, and I really missed you guys. But hey, we're trying to do some upgrades, and you can see this content is an improvement, is an upgrade of the previous one. So if you're looking at it like, what upgrade did you make? I would like you to watch the first episode and see. Try to get better and better. Well, hey, thank you very much for hanging on. So I want to thank everyone. I want to appreciate everyone for your comments, for those who shared the first episode, those who liked, and those who subscribed. In fact, guess what? We hit 100 subscribers. Oh, wow, 100! Wow, I'm so excited about it. In about 2-3 weeks, able to hit 100. Wow. So the next target now is let's go for 200, guys. So please share, like, subscribe, comment. Okay, please. This comments and all of these shares and subscriptions and likes and all that, they motivate me. Truly, they do motivate me. So please keep encouraging me, keep motivating, support your guy. Okay, so thank you very much. And one of the objectives of this series, as a matter of fact, is basically to create a platform where we can engage in exchange of ideas, where we can come up with ideas to move our countries and our continent forward. Because of that, we'll be looking at some of the comments that you guys shared and dropped. But yeah, so want to see how we can come up with different ideas to go higher, to move our countries and our continent, to a better level, So, in case you've not subscribed, in case you've not shared this, please subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm waiting. Yeah, subscribe. Just hit it. Yeah, do it right now. Come on, do it. Okay, subscribe. There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing. So now let's go into what we have for today. Okay, so for the first episode, I posted it on Facebook. I posted the link on Facebook and also posted on YouTube. And many people, watched the first episode on YouTube through Facebook, through the link on Facebook. So they dropped their comments on Facebook, and I'm going to go through them. So again, I have these ones that I put them in should I say, general comments, just still a bit just general. And we have John Daniels. John Daniels says, "I'm proud of you." Thank you, John. John says he's proud of me. Thank you, John. I think John in Malaysia. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate that. Thank you. And we have Joyce Siwa. Joyce Siwa says, "A very good start." Thank you very much, Joyce, from the UK. Thank you so much. Thank you. Avelino Demani says, "Lovely." Thank you, Avelino, from South Africa. Thank you so much. And Chidebere Chikudi, put the emoji fire. Put the fire emoji. Thank you, Chidebere. Thank you so much. And Kenneth Eseka says, "A good one, good one." Thank you, Kenneth. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so next we have Alex Monye. Alex, and he says, yes, our politicians should know that when they make promises and not fulfill them, they are also scammers, and scammers are criminals also. I agree with you, Alex. I totally agree with you. In fact, I don't think I can say it any better. It's so true that these politicians, they loot the treasury and the commonwealth of the people, and at the end of the day, the people become very impoverished. But again, I want us to also change our viewpoint about on that issue. So if we have politicians coming out to make promises like, I'll give you 5 million jobs, 10 million jobs, and all of that. Now, here's a question you should ask them. How do you intend to give this job? How do you intend to keep your promises? Because most of them just say all these things to entice you. And after enticing you, what happens? They get your votes, get into position, and they don't have any plans to fulfill those promises. So ask them, what are your plans? How do you intend to fulfill these promises? How? And if they don't have any plans, or if their plans are not concrete enough, ditch that politician, go for someone else. It's so tiring. These politicians, I don't know, man. It's like the world would have been a better place without them. It's they make the world so messy with their policies and with their actions and their inactions and all of that. So if a politician promises to do certain things, ask them, how do you intend to do that? Let us know how. What are your plans? How do you intend to do that? And if they don't give you something concrete enough, that person is a scammer. Okay. Alex also said every criminal faces the law, for the rule of law says nobody is above the law. True, in a normal society, in a developed, not necessarily developed, in a normal society, in a good society, nobody's above the law. But unfortunately, we can say that about many African countries. You know, for example, one of the programs that the federal government of Nigeria is currently sponsoring is the de-radicalization of repented Boko Haram members. Repented in quote. Because how do you gauge repentance? How do you measure repentance? That's why I put it in quotes. Anyway, so those of you who don't know, Boko Haram is a terrorist group, and what happens is the government of Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria, you know, catches the members of these terrorists and then puts them in a program where, you know, and takes care of them, puts them in a program, feed them and teach them and whatever for 6 months or 9 months or whatever the period is. And then those guys say, oh, we've repented, we're no longer terrorists. And then bring them back into society and give them jobs. Now, this is why I think that that is the most stupid idea or strategy or whatever it is or policy. So these terrorists make children homeless. They make children fatherless, motherless, and even make them orphans or even kill them. But you don't provide any program or any policy or any structure to cater for those children. But you're catering for the killers of the children, of the children's parents, or even of the children. Like, who does that? It doesn't even make sense. The people who did the killing are saved or taken to a program where they are de-radicalized, whereas the victims are just left like that without anything. You know, you somehow sending a message to the law-abiding youth, law-abiding people in that country to say, hey guys, if you want to get our attention, go kill someone. And that is bad. That is totally bad. Like Alex said, nobody should be above the law. But unfortunately, in some African countries and communities, some people are above the law. And that is bad. I don't know. It's so sad. And I think of many people who are refugees in their own country because of the actions of these terrorists. And yet these terrorists are given VIP treatment. And what happens to the victims? Anyway, Alex, I'm not angry with you, Alex. I'm just saying that I agree with you. In a normal society, nobody's above the law. So next on Facebook, we have Austin Okago. And he says, good work, fire on. Our politicians are also scammers. Imagine a state governor having over 500 billion naira with over 100 accounts with different banks in the state that is not up to 10 million citizens. We are finished. Thank you very much, Austin. Austin said I should fire on, so let me fire on. So imagine what 500 billion naira can do in a state or in a community. Imagine the schools that can be renovated with 500 billion. Imagine the hospitals that can be built, not just world-class hospitals. Imagine the roads that can be constructed with 500 billion. And as Austin claims, a state governor would take that amount of money. Like, let me ask you a question, you, this governor, this politician. How do you sleep at night? Like, how do you, I don't know, man. How do you sleep at night? Guys, it's demoralizing, you know. Anyway, That's what this program is here for. We look at these issues and see how we can provide solutions to them. But thank you very much, Austin. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's the last one from the Facebook post. Next, we're looking at comments from YouTube, and then we have Darrell Bros. And Darrell Bros says, you know something? As a matter of fact, kind of missed this class. I don't understand what you mean, Daryl. I tried to wrap my head around it, but I just couldn't get your point. Please, but thank you for commenting. If I know you're watching, please, elaborate on your point, and yeah, just let us know what you really mean by that. But thank you so much. Thank you. Next, we have Delms from the Philippines, and she writes, I believe that you guys, Nigerians, are educated and hardworking. That is my initial impression when we first had a short chat while playing an online word game. Your initial episode is nice, and I would like to see and hear more interesting episodes in the future. Your name speaks of your personality. God bless you and your channel, Dems. Thank you, Dems. So Dems and I were online friends, and we met on this online word game. And so while we were playing, we chatted, and I just told her about my channel, and she watched it. And so she said that she knows that Nigerians are educated and hardworking, and her initial impression of that was the initial impression that she had when she met me online. And this brings me to this point that as individuals, as citizens of our countries, we have to be good ambassadors of our countries. We have to be good representatives of our countries, because people are not going to meet 200 million Nigerians. People are not going to meet 60 million South Africans or 13 million Zimbabweans. No, but they're going to meet one of the millions of people in that country, and they should meet the good one. They should meet the good one, because we Africans, we are good people. Nigerians, we are good people. We are lovely people. Unfortunately, there are some bad eggs, but that doesn't make all of us bad people. So, but thank you very much, Dems. Thank you so much. So wherever you are, be a good citizen and an ambassador of your country. So next we have Glory Uche. Glory Uche says, materialism, the problem of our generation. And yes, no one wants to start small anymore. In our local parlance, we must hammer at any cost. SMH. Shaking my head, I guess. Yeah. Okay, Uche, I really do agree with you. Materialism has, caught up with young people. That people don't have that patience to really work hard and make investments and watch your investments grow. They just want to hammer at all costs. And if you don't really understand the term hammer, like what a carpenter takes a hammer and hits the nail, hammer. But in Nigeria, to hammer means to make it at all costs. Just to make money, not just to make it, to make money at all costs. When someone says I want to hammer, they mean I want to make money at all costs. So yeah, it's a shame. Recently there was this news that came out from Abo, a town in Delta State, where the EFCC, in conjunction with the FBI, because they got information from the FBI, arrested a 22-year-old undergraduate student. Now, the items recovered from this guy were a 5-bedroom duplex, a Mercedes-Benz CA250, Mercedes-Benz C250, Mercedes-Benz GLK350, laptop computers and mobile phones. At 22, 5-bedroom apartment, 5-bedroom duplex, 3 Mercedes cars, laptops and all of that at 22. Now, it's not bad to get all those things at 22. It's not a crime, don't get me wrong. But when you don't have a legitimate source of income, most often than not, you are into a criminal activity. Now, think about it. If at 22 he has all these things, so when did he start this internet fraud? Probably at 17 or 18. So he started at a very young age to get into this criminal activity. Materialism. If they don't, people think that if you don't, drive the Benz, what have you gained in life? And, they form it into a song and they sing. And, when you start listening to the song, it gets into your head and you just think that, the amount of money you have is a reflection of how successful you are. Unfortunately not. And that's what the society, tends to breed. They breed that ideology. You know, the more they just think that money is a reflection of how successful you are. We should be focusing on values. We should be a value-based society, a value-based, not a money-centric society. And this brings me to another point, because from the information, from the news, his girlfriend and also his mom were arrested as well. So, parents, you have a 22-year-old child, already has a duplex, 3 different cars. In fact, and if someone told me that he has 2 duplexes, although they were not mentioned, but I'm just going to focus on one, on the what was mentioned. So your child has a duplex, no job, still in school, 3 Mercedes cars, and you didn't say anything, and you're okay, you're fine. Like, I want to believe that some parents are really encouraging this criminal activity in their kids, and somehow puts pressure on these kids. Look at your mate. Look at what your mate has. Look, he's built a duplex, or he has this, he has that. What are you doing? At 25, you're still doing this. Help the child gainfully or positively. Don't put unnecessary pressure on that child, because then the child, want to hammer at all costs. They want to, just make it at all costs. If it means you defrauding someone or even engaging in ritual activities or whatever, they just want to do that. Please, parents and boyfriend and girlfriend, your partner doesn't have a legitimate source of income, that should be a concern to you. Not posing flamboyantly. Materialism, I don't know. Like, even Hushpuppi had, or I think he still has, over 2.5 million followers on Instagram. 2.5 million followers. We're talking about 2.5, at least 2 million youths following this guy. Do you know what that means? Anyway, but thank you very much, Glory Uche, for writing us. Thank you so much. Jovialcom.ng also writes, as a matter of fact, keep the fire. And then at the bottom, he writes, crime is crime. I do not approve, and I do not stand with fraudsters, rapists, racists, etc. Yeah, thank you very much. And we should start calling these things, as what they are. We don't support these things, and they should be discredited at any slightest opportunity. We don't support them, and that's it. Okay, thank you. Ralph Inhekunyem from Oman. He writes, so true, crime is a crime, and so is most of our African politicians. So he's saying most of our politicians are criminals. You also mentioned something that intrigued me, materialism. Thank you, materialism. I think we need to change our mentality and attitude towards it. I don't just think so, I believe it is. We need to change it. We do need to change it. But thank you very much for also, agreeing with me on that, Ralph. Thank you so much. Next is Tim Udoka writes, a misdirected priority. Because Tim didn't elaborate on that, I really don't know what he means, but I want to think that he means that the youth of nowadays have, placed priority on the wrong thing. I want to believe that's what he meant, but Tim, if you're watching, I believe you are, please elaborate on that. But thank you so much for your comment. And Video Biz writes, Video Biz, I think I kind of know who the person is. Thank you anyway. Video Biz writes, wow, this content is so educational. Thank you for sharing your perspective, sir. Thank you, Biz, for watching and for commenting. Thank you so much. We just want to see how we can put heads together to move our countries forward, and also to help put the youth in the right direction. But thank you very much, Video Biz. And the last but not the least is Shalina Bryan. I have to put this last because it was it's so long. It's a long comment. So, but I'm going to try to take it as it is right here. Okay, so it says, I do agree that crime is crime. You cannot group individuals into a whole from one person's action or from one individual's action, nor is it a reason to label a whole country with a negative perspective based on a small group of undesirable representations. That's so true. We said that earlier on, and I totally agree with you, Brian. Politics is not my forte, he writes. I do believe the majority are only about their own personal agenda and will say or do what they have in order to get what they want, which just means that the people they represent have to take more effort in voting those kinds of politicians out of office until they see that those types of unsubstantiated promises will be tolerated. I really do agree with you. I do agree with you on that. That brings me to a point. Last November, I traveled to Texas to see a friend, and then went to Oklahoma City in Oklahoma, and I saw this picture, and I saw this building, sorry, and I took a picture of it. So here is what it writes: He who has the most zeal and ability to promote public felicity, let him be the servant of the public. Let me say that again. He who has the most zeal and the ability to promote public felicity, let him be the servant of the public. If our politicians, will agree to this or believe this, nobody will, politics won't be a do or die affair. Let the best person go and serve. You have the best interest of the people at heart, then go and serve. There's no big deal about it. Let me continue. Where did I stop? I will not be okay. I'm not a materialistic person, so I don't understand materialism. But I believe you've listened to us now, so you should know what it is. But I can get behind building a financial foundation in which families for generations can continue to grow on. Lastly, it is apparent everywhere that people blindly follow those who are doing horrible things. I feel most of it is because they know about their character flaws. They have already idolized and placed them on a pedestal. And until their actions directly affect their followers, those individuals will continue to be loyal. I think I addressed the majority of the topics. Thank you very much, Brian. Yes, you did address. And we as people, I'm not against loyalty, but it depends on what you're loyal to. You should be loyal to values and principles. Don't be loyal to a person, but be loyal to the values that the person has, so that when the person stops representing or showing those values, you're not attached to that person anymore. You just leave immediately, because you're not attached to the person, but to the values that the person has. And I also believe that we should pay allegiance to our constitution, and not to the politician, not to the people, but to the constitution. So if someone doesn't show the values or the principles that you believe and that you esteem, leave that politician. Just leave them and look for someone who has and represents your values. But thank you very much, Brian. I totally agree with you on that. Thank you so much. And hey, that brings us to the end of this. And so if you want us to look at any topical issue, send us an email at asamatteraoffact9@gmail.com. asamatteraoffact9@gmail.com. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @GOnWithTheWay. G-On-The-Way, or you can just search God's Power on the Way and you'll find me on Twitter and Instagram. Hey, please subscribe, share, like, comment. And I'm coming out with our second episode very soon, so watch out. As a matter of fact, I'm counting on you.